I got to give credit to our PR team and that actually asked for that main event. So I'm not taking credit for that. But yeah, no, I think all the fights showed up, especially the semi-finals finalists. Josh and Emperor, you know, put the icing on the cake for the night. I was impressed with what Josh did because there were times where Emperor actually hurt him and he just kept coming back. And so it's good to see, especially because he had lost to Emperor last year. So to see that, yeah, no, that I was impressed.
So you've got Godzi facing off against Brent.
Right.
In the championship, you got two amazing grapplers,
Right.
pretty decent strikers, but you know, Brent, 3-degree Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and a guy right out of the best training camp, Godzi.
Yeah.
How do you see this fight going down?
You know, it's a 5-round fight, and I think they both have power, as we saw at Gutsy tonight. Brent, you know, I've seen him when he went up against Solomon Renfro. Both, as you said, both great grapplers. So, but the thing is, I just don't see that fight going the distance. Someone is, you know, that's a 5-round fight, and they both come out and fight. And so, I still think that's going to be, you know, I just don't see that fight going the distance.
Might be a banging fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny Lazaro and then a draw. Danny came in here pretty distraught, and he used the retired word a couple times with us reporters. Curious of your thoughts at that fight, how it's forward, and if this is the end of Danny in the PFL.
I thought Danny looked great. I thought that was the first time I've seen him live, and I was impressed with that kind of cocky attitude, still being polite in his own way. But I kind of like that attitude where you just come out and fight. You know what I mean? So it won't be the last time we see him.
When you have so many fighters coming out of Florida, does that make you just want to come back here more when you hear that crowd?
Absolutely. No, we had a great crowd tonight, so yeah, absolutely.
And Thad Jean, he asked about, you know, he brought a lot of people here as well. The Silverback Nation showed out. Is he a guy you're looking forward to maybe having in the regular season next year?
What's Thad Jean's record now? 8-0? Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. That's very possible. You know, if we didn't get him another maybe 1 or 2 more fights, it's very possible that he could end up in the season next year.
And you have the super card later this year. Any more fights that maybe announced for that card?
No, we don't. You see, I get in trouble. You guys are just trying to get me in trouble. No, I mean, nothing's been announced yet. Obviously, that's going to be finalized, and I think, you know, in the coming weeks, that will be announced.
Thanks, and congrats tonight.
Thank you.
One fight that was announced was AJ McKee and Paul Hughes. I was just wondering your thoughts on that match. It's very exciting.
No?
I don't believe that was, yeah.
It's not announced?
No.
Oh, I apologize. Another fight that's not announced that I want to ask about, that the fans are behind, the community needs it. Mads Burnell, a great performance again tonight, called out Shane Burgos. A WWE-esque call-out was very good. What do you think about that potential fight?
Yeah, that's. I mean, Mads, and I'm glad he called Shane out because, you know, when you create that kind of hype, I think they should get, you know, get in there and you know, go to work. When that would happen, I have no idea. Obviously, they both. I mean, apparently they've actually talked to each other and they've both agreed to it. And so, you know, Matt's winning tonight and calling him out again. So somewhere down the line, I think that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but I think it should happen.
I know Shane was rooting for him all day today.
Yep.
The guy I wanted to ask you about is Jordan Oliver, a guy that has a huge platform. A lot of fans from the wrestling community is one of the most accomplished NCAA wrestlers of all time. You have high hopes for Jordan Oliver in the PFL.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. But I still think he needs a lot of experience. He also fights at a weight class that's very stacked. And so, but time is also not his friend because I believe he's like 33, 34. And so, you know, when you start, I mean, he's really got to kind of fast track and get some high level quality opponents because he doesn't have much time. When you're 33 and you're only, what, 2-0 now? Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of tough. But, you know, I saw a lot of potential in him tonight. And so, you know, that's entirely up to him how fast he wants to, you know, climb that ladder.
He's a great wrestler. Didn't shoot for a takedown to the third round. So that's
Right.
pretty interesting. I wanted to ask you about Biagio Ali Walsh. A lot of some fans seem to complain, like, why is Biagio on the main card always? He hasn't had a lot of experience. A lot of people are trying to rush him and trying to say he should fight, you know, bigger names at this point. But he's doing everything right, it seems. He seems to improve with each fight. What have you seen from him?
Well, I mean, I don't know how someone could not understand why he's on the main card. You just got to think Ali, and, you know, that says it all. That being said, Biagio did have another opponent. Unfortunately, his opponent got hurt, and that opponent was, you know, I think he had a little bit more, 4-0 in terms of his record. So we were going to step that kind of competition up. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Last minute, so thanks to Brian for stepping up. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't go his way. But again, this is the potential that Biagio has, is we got to bring him up slowly. Again, you know, he's only 2-0 now as a pro. So, but he's coming along. I thought tonight he was patient, picked his shots, and finished the fight. So, I mean, when you're that young in the game, that's exactly what you want to do. That's why people want to tune in. That's why people want to see you, is finishing fights. So. And
then last one, on that note, Corey Taylor, the guy who was originally booked to fight, he seemed like a perfect opponent for Biagio, where he's at right now, his experience, and
right.
So maybe some interest in rebooking that fight down the line.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Do we have a location for that pay-per-view card?
Yeah, it's on the moon.
They do.
The boss lady's right here. No, it's not finalized yet.
Okay. Can you talk about the importance of Ngannou versus Fajeda? When Ngannou signed with you guys, he left the UFC as champion.
Right.
Some people still see him as the best heavyweight in the
Right,
world.
right.
Do you feel like this fight defines who the best heavyweight on the planet is in mixed martial arts?
I agree. Renan Ferreira has like completely in his past this past year winning the championship, and then going up against his name will come to me in a second. Bader. Again, going up against Bader, and was able to finish Bader the way he did. You know, that's stamping your mark, you know, on the world circuit. And I mean, the next big thing for him is to fight Francis, and I can't wait for that fight. That's going to be fireworks. And it definitely is the battle of giants, because those two guys are monsters.
There's a belt on the line, right?
There is, yes.
Yeah. Will that belt be defended moving forward?
Yes, does,
okay.
Yes.
In terms of that, like, obviously, in the time since France has left UFC, they've had all sorts of confusion around who's the champion. A lot of people feel maybe Tom Aspinall, maybe John Jones, though, has the undisputed belt. Do you feel that, kind of regardless, kind of to what Danny was saying, the real MMA undisputed heavyweight champion is going to be decided on October 19th when Renan Ferreira and Francis Ngannou fight each other?
Listen, Francis left as champion. And of course, now the UFC has a new champion, as in John Jones. Tom is such an amazing athlete himself. I think when that opportunity is presented to him against Jones or whoever the world champion is, when he does fight for that title, I would not be surprised if he comes out on top. Sorry, I'm going to turn that off real soon. But anyway, that being said, listen, I think the two biggest heavyweights in the sport today is Francis and Renan Ferreira. In terms of size, they're both proven themselves. They're both great finishers. And so, yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind that those two are definitely the two of the best in the world.